My boyfriend and his first love got arrested for hooking up in a public park. When I went to the police station to bail them out, he was holding her protectively in his arms. Both of their necks were covered in hickeys. Sarah lost her job. I was just taking her to the park to cheer her up. I wanted to scream at him, but the words died in my throat. It just wasn't worth it anymore. I didn't want to be the nagging, controlling bitch he always called me. I just lowered my head, signed the papers, and paid the fine. The officer asked the routine question, "What's your relationship?" I glanced at Steve Ross, who was still clinging to Sarah Quinn, and sneered, "We're roommates." My fingers flew across my phone screen, sending a text to my father. "Dad, I agree to the arranged marriage you mentioned. I'll be home on Christmas Eve." It was pouring rain when we left the station. I finally managed to hail a cab and had just pulled the door open. Steve shoved me aside, pulling Sarah into the back seat. He looked back at me, his tone matter of fact. "I'm taking Sarah home first. She's really shaken up after being in a police station. You can just get another cab." I looked at Sarah in the back seat. She looked anything but shaken up. In fact, there was a smug little smirk playing on her lips. "Get your own cab," I said, my voice cold. "This one's mine." Steve's face instantly darkened. "Why do you always have to be so aggressive, Leah? Is it that hard for you to be considerate? I already told you." Sarah was just upset about her job, so I took her out to clear her head. Those people misunderstood. The evidence was overwhelming, yet he could still spin such a ridiculous lie. It was almost impressive. He could say something so full of holes with such confidence for one reason only. He knew I loved him. Before I could reply, he squeezed into the back seat next to her and snatched the umbrella from my hand. The cold rain soaked through my clothes, and I shivered. "This is all your fault for being so late. You have no idea how embarrassing that was for us. You go home first. I'm going to stay with Sarah for a bit." Sarah leaned toward the window to look at my miserable state, a brilliant smile on her face. "Sorry, Leah. Steve's just really worried about me." Steve shot her a look that was almost tender. "Don't even bother talking to her." With that, he rolled up the window and told the driver to go, leaving me standing on the curb like a drowned rat. Rain streamed down my hair, blurring my vision and extinguishing the last flicker of hope in my heart. I knew he didn't care about me, but I never imagined he could be this cruel. Defeated, I tried to hail another cab. 4 hours later, long after dark, another car finally arrived. By the time I got home, my head was pounding and my throat was starting to itch. A message from my dad popped up with a photo attached. "This is Caleb Vance, the man from the arranged marriage. What do you think?" I barely even saw his face before I typed back, "Perfect." Honestly, I didn't care who it was anymore. 6 years ago, I ran away from home to escape a marriage arranged by my family. I left everything behind and came to Viridia alone. I was broke, with no friends or family. At my lowest point, I met Steve. He had just graduated and was miserable at his job. We found comfort in sharing our troubles with each other. He took me back to his small, rented apartment. I thought I had found true love. For the 6 years we were together, I gave him everything. I helped him climb from a junior employee to a top executive in his company. I was the ghostwriter behind every one of his project proposals, the silent partner in every assessment. But every time I worked up the courage to bring up marriage, he'd make an excuse, telling me to wait a little longer. And this is what I got for waiting. Him, cheating on me with Sarah. Now, I was done waiting. I swallowed 2 cold pills and started throwing things away. From under the coffee table, I pulled out a crumpled booklet. It was a collection of flight stubs from Viridia to the UK. The last one was dated 3 days before Sarah returned to the country. Sarah had been studying in the UK all these years, so it turned out he did have time after all. All those missed anniversaries and Valentine's days, he had used business trips as an excuse to be with Sarah.